Hello everybody and welcome back to Slow Your Roll. I'm Cody.
And I'm Alex.
And today we're doing another character archetype breakdown. Today we are breaking down the Wise Mentor archetype. Definitely one that you're familiar with. Plenty of good examples inbound. But we basically plan to give you the exciting reasons that you would play this character and some of the methods that you could get away with doing it well and it feeling good at the table.
Okay, so first things first, defining the wise old mentor. And if you'd like to think of a mentor as anything, think of it as a teacher. They need patience to be able to teach somebody something, and a little bit of selflessness to want to be able to push others forward. And there's often more to the wise mentor than meets the eye. They have things like past adventures, hidden regrets, or personal losses that give them depth. And they're not just old, they're wise. They see the bigger picture and can offer a perspective that the hero may lack.
So to give you some plain examples or tropes of this character type, the wise mentor may appear as some sort of wizard or sage, often a magic user or scholar with a vast arcane or academic knowledge of some kind. Really good examples embodying that would be like Gandalf or Dumbledore. Or another common trope kind of goes the other direction with a martial artist of some sort, like a retired warrior or fighting master of some kind, a seasoned fighter who passes on their skills to a younger generation. Good examples of that would be like Obi-Wan Kenobi, kind of, and Mr. Miyagi. And we've covered the arcane and the physical. How about the spiritual now, with the common trope of the guru or the spiritual guide? This is a figure who offers spiritual or philosophical guidance, often helping the hero find inner peace and make their way through whatever adventures they're dealing with.
And I think we have to point to the most famous example, Rafiki from The Lion King.
Yes, Rafiki's definitely a good one. Yoda, and of course Iroh from Avatar. And the last common trope is kind of like the reluctant mentor. This is someone who is initially kind of hesitant to take on the role, a lot of times because they've been hurt by the past of something that happened to them. They don't want other people to relive that same hurt. They can often get over their past by helping someone else. The first thing I think of is actually the one Doc from Cars. Is that his name? Doc Hudson or whatever.
Okay, yeah, that works. That is not where I went. That's hilarious. Literally, as you were describing that, I was hearing leaves from the vine, like, just slowly. These tropes are powerful and recognizable for good reason. They tap into our desire for guidance and wisdom, but with these, there are some pitfalls we want to avoid when trying to portray the wise mentor. You don't ever want your wise mentor to be the deus ex machina that ends up fixing and solving the problems of the day. Yes, they're powerful and experienced, but for specific reasons, their power is usually on the decline, so they can't really help out to save the world. That's for them to motivate the hero to do. If you do want to keep your mentor around for quite a while, try to avoid the disposable mentor trope, because that happens very often in things like Star Wars, where they either have to kill off their mentor or they see their mentor killed in front of them, and that fuels their motivations. It can be a good story, but that's the last you'll hear of that mentor. And there is a very fine line between a wise mentor and that crackpot in the corner who won't stop saying cryptic messages. So if you're always speaking in vague riddles and prophecies, it's probably good to make sure that they make sense, or if you're the DM, that they come true in some way. Especially trying to portray the wise mentor as an NPC as the DM. And probably the worst thing that you could do as the wise mentor is be the perfect paragon, somebody who always knows the right thing to do. The reason why somebody is in that mentor role is because they've gone through those life experiences and made the mistakes, and they're trying to give that to others. But always remember, we want mentors to be knowledgeable and helpful, but we don't want them to steal the show.
That is 100% true, especially if you're playing a character at a table as a player, not the DM, running the wise mentor type character. Don't want to do any more spotlight stealing than is necessary. But if that is the case and you're trying to make a character like this wise mentor archetype, here are some creative and truly memorable ways to stand out with that character. Firstly, you want to make sure you give them a clear motivation. This kind of goes for any character you make, but it will be especially important running a character like this. Maybe latch onto a specific character at first in the party and decide why exactly they are mentoring that specific person until that kind of bleeds over to the rest of the characters as well.
Kind of like the guiding light for the party.
Exactly. You want to make sure to still give them flaws and contradictions. Make them human, unless they're not human. But you know what I mean. Maybe they struggle with their own past mistakes or issues that they've caused, and this is bringing it all back up by helping the party do whatever they are doing. Or perhaps they have a terrible blind spot for their wisdom. A really common trope, the first one that I thought of was actually from Freeren, where the priest is kind of an alcoholic. Maybe do what you can to develop a complex relationship with the other characters in the party. The mentor-mentee relationship should be a dynamic and evolving situation with moments of conflict, understanding, and growth. Those are all things that you can try to set goals for through your role-playing.
Definitely. And you might want to pace the mentorship just a little bit too, because you don't want that to be your only defining character trait. Have those moments be organic and through everyone in the group. You don't want to feel like the dad, you want to feel like the cool uncle.
Yes, that's a really good point, and I could not agree more. One more thing that could be helpful is to focus on other characters' journeys. The mentor's role is to facilitate other people's growth, not overshadow it or grow so much on their own.
Yeah, totally agree. And a mentor is truthfully just a teacher. The teacher's not going to take the test for you, but they want you to figure out the test.
Absolutely. And one of the last big things, this is one more thing that kind of goes with any character you make to make it fleshed out, but give them a backstory that kind of informs their wisdom, gives them a reason to be the wise mentor character that they are. What experiences happened that shaped them? What lessons did they learn the hard way? And your first thought might be that this had to be through adventuring, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It could just be that they were a dad, and they were a good dad, but then they lost their child or whatever else, and the main reason they're doing this is just because it's helping them cope with that situation.
So if you were going to pick like your favorite wise mentor, what do you think that would be?
Yeah, that's tough. Honestly, the first thought is probably Iroh. General Iroh.
So since you took mine, I'm going to...
Wait, I can switch. No,
I think I might have to say, do you remember Merlin from The Sword and the Stone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I always really liked him. Like when you walked in, when Arthur would walk in and everything was like magical and crazy, he gave riddles and like answers to the questions that he was looking for, but like he was a kook. That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. It's funny too, because that kind of goes into one of our last videos of like playing a chaotic character. It doesn't have to just be crazy and meaningless. Like it's cool that was still a wise mentor, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I aspire to be that type of wizard if I can ever play one.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one that's interesting, I feel like the wise mentor you see with like a lot of clerics or like paladin type characters, right? And I would argue Captain America is like kind of the wise mentor type, you know?
You know, I think so. You know, really thinking about that, he kind of is. Because he's the like guiding light, that beacon that everyone kind of looks to be unwavering in a way. But he's also not like this heavy-handed, well, we're gonna do this until it comes to Civil War.
Right, exactly. And even then, there was so many scenes where he was like regretful about what was happening. Like all the times that he talked to Tony when he knew things were getting bad, and he's just like, here we go. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, now you make me think I need to rewatch.
Yeah, I think we'll have to at some point for sure.
So, what do you guys think about the wise mentor? Have you guys ever been able to pull that archetype off on the game table? And if you have, please leave that down in the comments because we would love to hear it.
Yeah, even if it's like full-blown stories. I mean, I'd be down for that. I'd like to hear some people's feedback on this one for sure.
I am not against our comment section turning into a Reddit section.
In the good ways.
Right, yeah, all the good ways, please.
But anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around and checking out this character archetype breakdown. This is one we were excited about for sure. We've got a few more on the docket, but feel free to leave your thoughts on specific archetypes you'd like broken down as well. Maybe we can get to those. But yeah, let us know what you think, and we will see you guys later.
Later, everybody.